Welcome back to another night. I'm calling this one Retail, the Rise of Incompetence. And the reason why I got to talk about it is, well, who doesn't love talking about retail, especially if you're in the retail business? And two, incompetence is something that will always happen in the workforce. So let's talk about it. Let's dive right into it today. So I'm not going to pick on any companies or anybody in particular, as much as I would like to. But I've worked, I don't know if I've talked about this before. I've worked in the retail for years. And in my opinion, there's all kinds of different versions of retail. I mean, if you worked in it, you understand. Because food industry is retail too. You just don't realize it. Hello, when you're working at a fast food place and they're telling you, hey, push the new sandwich we got out. When they come through drive-through, make sure you ask them, hey, would you like to try this new sandwich today? And actually, sorry guys, I'm actually gonna move because I don't like the light glaring up like every 10 seconds. So I'm trying to find something here that I can use. Don't mind me. I thought I could do it, but no, I can't do it. I'm still working on the idea of getting a stand hopefully soon. We'll see. And actually, while I'm doing that, I can go ahead and grab something else to help it out. So, as I was saying, everyone's worked in retail at least one point. That's how it works. At least, and if you haven't, well, you're a lucky son of a bitch. That's what I gotta say about that. Now, as I was saying, there's many types of retail. You have industry where you can work a hardware store where you sell hardware. You can work in a store where you sell clothes. You can work in a store where you sell toys. There's all kinds of different types of retail. Heck, even, I have to say it, but even automotive, even, this is going to sound bad, but even doctor's offices are kind of retail. And let me tell you why. Let me explain that, because I know right now a lot of people are like, whoa, wait. I didn't earn this degree to say I work in retail. But doctors, you do. You don't understand that. Someone comes in with a toothache. For that dentist, sorry. Okay, we're not talking about dentist, but it's another type of doctor. But someone comes in, they're feeling nauseous. Sure, you can tell them to go home, get some rest, sleep it off, drink some Sprite, maybe some saltine crackers, and sleep for a day or two, and they'll be fine. Sometimes that's what, honestly, they need. However, you got to prove that you're useful. So you can't just send them home like that. You got to write a prescription. Yeah, you got to find a way to sell yourself. Make sure these prescription companies are sending you money because you're sending them patients. So they need to send you stuff. They need to pay you for your stuff. So you're pushing certain pills, certain drugs, certain medication, just like retail. Automotive. Someone comes in at a repair shop because their check engine light has come on their car and they don't know how to use the meter. So they're like, I'll just bring it into the shop. Now you, the mechanic, check it, and guess what it tells you? The gas cap is off. That's all. But you're not going to tell them that. No, they rolled it into the shop. So what you're going to do? Well, what can I do? You're not going to lie to them. You're not going to tell them straight up, oh, everything's broken, I need to fix everything. No. You're going to do a full-scale check on the car and find whatever things don't look brand new. The brake pads. Even though the brake pads look like they probably got put on 2 or 3 years ago, they're a little worn. Hey, it's your brake pads. That's what the check engine light was going. I'm going to go ahead and put these brake pads on. You know what? You're making more money because you're making them think that they need new brake pads. And that's a different side of retail too. Because in retail, there is 2 spectrums for how you sell. Fear and positivity. And it's ridiculous. Fear is kind of going to the really negative side of the spectrum, essentially, in a way where for an automotive, someone's brake that's only maybe a little worn but not too much, convincing them to buy brakes now or else they're going to crash and die, that's like negativity. In retail, where you're selling, let's say you're selling something that's in high demand, you could tell them, hey, If you don't get it now, you're probably not going to get it later. And that's negative. That's a bad way to sell. However, it works sometimes. That's the sad thing, is people are afraid. They don't want to miss that opportunity. They don't want to risk their lives. So they're going to buy it. They're going to give you money and they're going to buy it. And that's the sad thing, is we're feeding into that. But here's the thing, there's also positivity, and positivity isn't always a good thing, because you can get people hyped up and get them excited to buy something. Now, sometimes that's nice, but sometimes you can get them so hyped up that they're going to spend more money than they should. I know, and retail will be like, shh, don't say that. Don't say that. They never can spend. No. But, I mean, for real, has any of you ever gone out, that's kind of a spontaneous buys and stuff like that? If you ever bought stuff that you know you didn't need, but maybe the guy got you into it, excited. You know, and I hate this, I'm not picking on anyone, but even at Comic Cons, that happens all the time. Because think about it, you're an artist, or you're a book writer, you're a novelist. You come up with this awesome tale. Don't get me wrong, you have to push the sale. You got to get people excited. But you sell bookmarks, you sell little figurines from your people, you sell the book, you sell a book cover, a sleeve, you sell t-shirts with your design on it. So how are you going to get this person who's never read your book before to buy all this? How? You tell me. By simply getting people excited. Tell them the story. Tell them how the shirt relates to a hidden joke in the book. Tell them how the sleeve is the key, the answer to the story. Tell them how the figurine is the hero, the savior of the story. Tell them the bookmark will save your day when you get lost and can't focus on where you left off. You sell with positivity, and here's the thing, don't get me wrong, you the author, you're awesome. You just sold all what you have, and you just made some money. However, that person who just bought it, well, don't get me wrong, you did buy it. It is on you, but at the same time, you were going to spend that extra cash to buy your best friend a hot dog at the stand. However, you just used that extra money because you couldn't watch what you're spending, and voila. You know, it's bad. It's bad. Now, I titled this The Rise of Incompetence. And there's a reason for that. To go into incompetence, when you work retail, there's always going to be, and actually any type of job, there's going to be incompetence. Retail's the biggest one, and there's a reason for it, guys. You guys can't get all pissed off because of it. Because let's be honest, in retail, it's for the people who didn't go to college and become a lawyer. You didn't get all these years of degrees under your belt, essentially, and that's where you're at now. You're in retail. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you gotta understand. People get angry because, oh, I come off the street with 20 years of knowledge because I worked in the construction business, so I should know how construction works in a retail store, in a construction retail store. But then this guy who just graduated from high school last week, he's making the same amount of money. Well, yes, you have to play on fair grounds, guys. You don't understand that. If you're not playing on fair grounds, why would anyone want to come work there? I mean, for real, sorry, there we go, speck there. But for real, why would anyone want to come work there? Because, yeah, you're going to get people who know what they're doing in there, but the problem is eventually you're not, at what point do you become a bad company where you're not helping educate people who want to learn? What if there's someone who just graduated high school and they actually want to learn a lot of that side? They're not going to get that expertise. They're not gonna, and what's funny is you can get a guy who's been selling you, who's been building construction for the last 30 years, and he knows how to build stuff, and he just wants to get a more relaxing job working as a lumber associate at a local hardware store. And there could be this kid fresh out of high school. Now, he may not know the first thing about lumber, but he may be one hell of a worker and know actually how to sell. And that's why, but you won't know until you put them in the workplace. So you have to start everyone at the beginning. Now, but here's the downfall of retail, and when I talk about the rise of incompetence. Because everyone, I think, should start at that fair playing ground, and then it should essentially raise up the better you get. It's kind of like video games, right? The higher you go up, the more skill points you get to spend. The more badass your gun becomes. That kind of the more cool armor and shields you get. I mean, that's how it works, right? But no. If you worked retail, it's totally the exact opposite. The dumber you are, the higher you go up, and it's really weird and bizarre, and it drives you insane because you see these people who have an abundance of hours or an abundance of money being thrown at them, and they don't know, like, oh, I don't know what to do with it. I'm just gonna complain about it. And you're like, whoa, here I am, busting my ass, and I get not even half of what you get, and you're still pissed? What the hell? And this isn't saying everyone in retail is incompetent, because that's so not true. You will always get a few good people up in the top, and that's sadly how it's always going to work, though. You're going to get a few amazing managers, a few amazing supervisors, a few amazing just people to oversee everything. Because why? Because they took the long road home, but they made it there. It took them a while. They had to deal with a lot of idiots. They had to deal with a lot of incompetence. They had to deal with a lot of stupidity and a lot of BS. But they worked their way to the top, the way it should be. And then you have the other half, where it makes you wonder if they actually graduated high school or if they forged their documents with a Crayola crayon and submitted it yesterday. That makes you wonder sometimes, because there are people out there that get in this position and you just don't understand how or why. And it's crazy, because every job I've ever had, that's how it always works. The person who has put in the time, the effort, who's actually made the store better, who's actually made the customers happier, who's actually done their job and gone above and beyond, they end up getting fired for something stupid. They end up getting belittled by people who just are idiots, or they end up simply just quitting because they can't deal with it anymore. And that's how it sadly works. And in companies, big companies, if the ones that care can't understand why they're losing good people, and then the ones who don't care, well, that's why they don't care. They get a dime a dozen, and they make it very clear to you that you're a dime a dozen. Oh my gosh. It's sad, really. But like it's insane to see that, to see people in charge that either run and hide, people in charge who don't know what they're doing. And it's not entirely their fault. Not entirely, because sometimes people are put in the positions that they're promoted and they accept it. Here's the thing is, I'm sorry, but any dumbass in the world, someone tells you, hey, we're going to offer you a position where you're going to get paid more. Do you want it? Whoa. Yeah, I like money. More money? I like money. That's how it's going to work. So you can't be mad at them entirely, because it's not always their decision. Sometimes they're told, well, I'm sorry, but if you were offered more money, would you not take it? Like, for real? Come on. I think the song Offspring has Self-Esteem. I may be stupid, but I'm not a dweeb. Yeah, that's exactly what that is right there. I mean, for real, how can you not take that? I mean, oh, Lord. Retail, oh, gosh. It's just sad to see the amount of people that can, over time, become the top of the food chain. And some of them even try to semi-fight for it. And when they get there, they're so idiotic, they don't even know what they're doing. They just shout out orders, and then they're amazed that people are doing it, but they don't realize they're gonna run things into the ground. Now, but here's the greatest aspect of retail that's a god of irony. Whoever came up with this concept is just a god of just evil. One, they're never gonna give one manager total, complete power. Everyone, it's like supposedly like the government. Everything is overseen by another person. So, if one person is stupid enough to do something really stupid, someone's gonna catch it, and it eventually catches on, and thus the store doesn't go under like you think. You can work in a store, and you could have a manager who steals. You could have a supervisor who doesn't do anything they're supposed to do, and you do it for them. You could have all this stuff, and you're thinking, well, what if I just stop one day and stop helping them? What if I report them one day? Sure, you can do that. And I'm wrong. If someone's stealing, yes, always report it. Duh. But, I mean, like, this company's not going to go under. There's a reason it's called retail. They have 1 billion fucking stores all over the fucking world sometimes. And they ain't going down. So all they have to do is get rid of that person, they exit stage right, and guess what's left? Sorry, I'm pointing left, but it's, whatever. But what's going to happen? They're just going to put someone just as incompetent in that spot. And they may not do the same thing, but they're going to do something very fucking similar because they're stupid. And guess what? That's why they change management so frequent, so often. It's because they know they're going to. That's how it works. That's how their system works. They don't want someone to be... And that's another thing. If you're a store manager, why do you think they move you around from store to store? They don't want you to build a dynasty. Hello? They want to be the guys making the big money. If you're the guy who's been in charge of a store for the last 20 years, I promise you, they're going to find a way to fire you because they don't want that. You're going to create a legacy, and they don't want that. They want only their name up in the headlights, not yours. They don't want anyone to be like, well, that manager who ran this store for the last 50 years was the greatest manager ever. No, because guess what? That manager might actually start thinking of intelligent things to do, might start correcting the store, might actually start doing something correctly, or even worse, could actually drive the store into the ground. And if they do that, they are going to lose so much. But now, it doesn't seem like it. But, I mean, to open up a store, no matter what size, costs a lot of money. Whether you're building it yourself so you can own the property, whether it's renting somewhere that's another person's property, paying for all the utilities, water, sewage, garbage, electricity, and then paying for all the stuff to go into the store, paying for delivery trucks to go that direction, paying employees to work there. It's not cheap to open up a business, okay? It's just not. Whether you're opening a fucking Plato's Closet or a goddamn Krispy Kreme, it's not easy. It's just not. And but here's the thing. They know how to do it because they've been doing it for a long time. So they know what they're doing, and they know at the bottom it's screwing over everyone in retail. Whether you're a manager or whether you're a day one employee, you're going to get screwed over. Why? Because that's retail. That's how it works. Supply and demand. Now, you do get some companies who are willing to try their best to show that they care. Whether it's bonuses, whether it's having a better HR system, having a more open door policy, having employee benefits. They try to do some things. It's just a lot of companies don't do anything. And I'll tell you right now, every store you work at in America, there's something always worse. Don't get me wrong, I know the bottom of the totem pole. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I'll tell you right now, I think I've mentioned it in the past. My first job was, I was going to say, pretty equal to the bottom of the totem pole here in America. But I didn't say that exactly. But there's all kinds, and that's why when I say the rise of incompetence is you see it more and more. You can work extremely hard, and there's still people rising to top. And that's the worst thing, is because people who are doing stupid things are getting publicity or getting noticed. And it's why? Because that's what that's what our society is. Hello, for the last 3 weeks, we've done nothing but obsess over a goddamn Tide Pod challenge. The literally dumbest people on the planet of the earth is eating fucking detergent and bleach. And we're laughing about it and recording it. Hell, people are actually making a fucking Starbucks drink based off of a fucking Tide Pod. Are you an idiot? That's not something to be proud of. People are like, oh, look, I can smoke my Tide Pod. Look, I can eat my Tide Pod. I can insert my Tide. What are you doing? And see, that's the funny thing. It's because of it being so huge across the internet, across Facebook, across Instagram. It's such a huge thing that guess what? How can you really understand if that's the big thing that the camera has to focus on? If that's the big thing that the media wants to talk about, duh, then our managers are no more intelligent. No offense, but I mean, come on. How else would we have people that just, oh my gosh, idiotic? And it makes you almost feel bad. Not for me, not even for other associates, but I feel bad for the intelligent managers. Because I know you're out there. I've met a few of you. You're amazing. You're intelligent. You have logic. I know, something that you're not supposed to talk about in retail. Logic. I I feel bad. I'm sorry for you guys because I have a feeling there's things you want to do, changes you want to make, and you can't because retail won't let you. You can't give people positions that you think they deserve. You can't change the way the store runs because even though you thought if you worked your way up, you would have more power, you learn that you have less power. What's sad is you have more power as a part-time associate at a place than you do as a full-time benefit manager. The only awesome perk of being a manager, you got the title manager, and yes, usually a bigger paycheck. That's not always the case, though, depending on what stores you work at. I've seen stores where the manager makes practically the same of what a regular employee makes, so that's just, that's insane. Ridiculous and horrible company policy, I'm telling you right there. Because there's no way you could pay me the same amount as like the guy coming off the street and make me more responsible of 10 times more things in the store. No way. So like I said, with the rise of incompetence, it's when you work in retail, you got to accept incompetence. It's always going to be there. It just will be till the end of time. It's going to be, but only we can stand up to try and prevent further incompetent people at the top. And there is ways. You talk with your other associates you work with. Talk with your colleagues, your coworkers. Band together because whether they realize it or not, we do speak louder as a group. And I'm not talking about going to your mandatory safety meeting every month. I'm not talking about your mandatory whatever meeting. I'm talking about actually going to each other department or going to every other part of the store or even coming in on days off to talk to people you don't normally see. Talk with them. Discuss your ideas and discuss, hey, the store is being run a way I don't think should be. Because guess what? One thing that is amazing is corporate cannot just ignore something when you have a legitimate idea or reason and the whole crew believes it, because you may be a dime a dozen, but they don't have enough dimes to replace the whole goddamn store. And they'll try, but I promise you, they will take a bigger hit than it is worth than to just keep you. And sometimes if it's just simply changing one part of the policy, they'll just do it. And that's sometimes what they need, because one voice sometimes is hard to hear over all the commotion. You have all the things going on in a store, all the bills, all the craziness, that one voice is hard to hear. But when the whole crew lines up and shouts at once, they will hear you, and that's how it works. I thank you again for listening tonight. I don't know why, I just thought tonight would be awesome to talk about retail. I would love to. I'll probably do another retail discussion in the future. I'm sure people want to hear me talk more about how doctors and automotive salespeople are retail. But either way, we'll do that another night. I appreciate you guys listening in. I hopefully will have a stand for this soon. I mean, I'm gonna have to get something. I'm going to Comic-Con in like 5 weeks. You know, guys. Woohoo! Comic-Con! I don't know how I'm going to go to Comic-Con. I just know that I already been given a place to stay and tickets. I just have to figure out everything else, like food and stuff. So, I'll figure that out somehow. I mean, if I have to go to the dollar store and survive off a box of crackers for a weekend, I guess that's what I'll do. Because as I've stated, I'm pretty butt poor. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Thank you for watching. I really do want to say thank you for all the support. I've seen people have been commenting in the neighborhood. I appreciate your comments. I'm always happy to talk about politics if I need to again down the line. Oh gosh, I'm terrible with names. I want to say Bill or something like that, or Bob. I want to say it's Bill. But yes, the blue drink had a really high level of drunkenness. It was a level 18. He was only a level 8 druid. He couldn't handle it. Excelsior! Ah! And also to Kim, Thank you for the wall love. Always happy. It's hopefully going to grow more. I have some more down the way in the pipeline. There's a lot more pops I want. I don't turn down free pops, by the way. So if anyone loves me enough that just wants to send me pops, I can give you my Amazon wish list or another list that I can just write on paper because I love pops. But either way, thank you for listening, guys. Thank you. Hit the subscribe. If you can, share me with your friends and your family. Get me up there. Get me rooting. Get me going. Hopefully soon I have some other people I'm talking to, getting some other cool things to come on the show. I will be recording live from Seattle Comic-Con, Emerald City Comic-Con in 4 weeks, so that'll be awesome. I'm going to go see Black Panther in 2 weeks, so I'll definitely give some chime in on that. Either way, it should be an awesome month or two coming up here. So thank you for following. Thank you for watching. Keep supporting me by sharing this video and subscribing because that's what I need, those subscribes. So thank you. And if you have anything you want me to talk about or bring up or discuss, feel free to comment on it, and I'll talk about it. Other than that, hope everyone has a great Sunday. And since we're retail, hope you don't have a class of the moon days tomorrow. All right, as always, stay classy, guys, and take care. Have a great night.